The University of Washington research discovered something that should concern every parent and grandparent. Children who use AI to create can no longer create without it. And here's the concerning part: most parents and grandparents have absolutely no idea it's even happening. Hello, I'm Phil McKinney, and welcome to my innovation studio. If you've been following our series on creative thinking in the AI age, you know that I've been speaking a lot about how artificial intelligence is rewiring human creativity. We've previously explored the 30% decline in creative thinking among adults, the science of neuroplasticity, and the practical exercises that you can use to rebuild your creative capability. But today's episode is different. Today, we're talking about your child's developing brain. And I need to be direct with you. The next 30 minutes might be the most important parenting conversation you will have this year. Because while we've been worried about AI taking our jobs, it's already changing our children's minds. Unlike us adults who developed our creative thinking before AI even existed, our kids are growing up with artificial intelligence as their creative co pilot from the very beginning. Here's my promise to you: by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to tell if your child is developing AI dependency. You'll also understand why their developing brain is more vulnerable than yours, and you will have an assessment tool to evaluate your family situation, plus immediate strategies you can start using today to help your kids improve that creative muscle. But first, let me show you what's happening in homes just like yours and why this is both preventable and completely reversible. So, a few weeks ago, a mother shared a story with me that stopped me in my tracks. Her 10-year-old daughter used to spend hours drawing elaborate fantasy worlds, completely absorbed in her creative process. Now, when her mother suggests drawing something, the daughter responds, "Can't I just use AI to make it look better?" At first, this seemed like smart efficiency. Why not use available tools? However, when the mother asked her daughter to draw a simple picture with no digital help, something alarming occurred. The child just stared at the blank paper and started crying, unable to get over the hump to create anything on her own. This story is not unique. It's happening everywhere, and parents are missing it because the signs look like success. Before we go further, let me be clear: this is not your fault. AI dependency develops gradually, and most parents miss the early signs because they actually looked positive. Think about your own child for a moment. Has their homework gotten easier? Do they finish the writing assignments faster than they used to? Are their projects suddenly more polished? If you answered yes, you might be looking at what I call the homework mirage. Here's what the homework mirage looks like. Your child sits down to write a story for English class. Instead of staring at a blank page like kids have done for generations, they open ChatGPT and they type a prompt: "Write me a story about a brave knight." In 30 seconds, they have three paragraphs that would have taken them an hour to write previously. You see the finished assignment. It's well written, it's grammatically correct, it's creative. You think, great, they're learning to use technology efficiently. But here's what you don't see: your child's brain just missed a crucial workout. Now, remember in our first episode when we talked about brain pathways being like muscles? When we don't use them, they weaken. This is happening to children at a speed that is concerning researchers worldwide. Dr. Zhu from Harvard put it perfectly when she asked the critical question: are they actually engaging in the learning process, or are they bypassing it by getting an easy answer from the AI? And here's the concerning part: kids who use AI to complete tasks do produce higher quality work in the short term. But when you take the AI away, their abilities are worse than before they started using it. But this goes way beyond homework. Children are experiencing what experts call the creative confidence crisis. Kids who used to love making art now say, I'm not good enough when they compare themselves to the quality and the resolution and the ability for AI generated images. Children's ask AI to help with simple creative tasks, such as making up games or telling stories. The scale of this problem is significant. Researchers, recent research shows that 31% of teenagers are already using AI to create pictures and images. 16% are using it to make music. Parents, most have no idea how much their children are depending on these AI tools. One researcher told me parents and teachers are pretty much out of the loop. So young people are using AI platforms with virtually no guidance. This brings us to a crucial question: why are children more vulnerable than adults? In our second episode, we explored neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to recognize itself and reorganize itself throughout your life. But children's brains aren't just plastic, they're in active construction mode. Think of an adult's brain like a well established city with builds and infrastructure and roads and laid down over time. A child's brain is just like a city being built from scratch. The roads they travel most frequently become the highways of their adult thinking. This is why the creative pathway your child develops now will determine their innovative capabilities for life. While AI can already outperform humans at data analysis, writing, and even coding, it cannot replicate the uniquely human ability to make unexpected connections, challenge assumptions, and imagine what doesn't yet exist. The children who develop strong creative thinking skills today will be the ones who thrive in tomorrow's AI dominated world. They will become the innovators, the entrepreneurs, the problem solvers, the leaders who can work with AI without being replaced by it. These future critical abilities depend on four specific creative thinking systems that are strengthened or weakened based on how children use them. When children become AI dependent, these four systems are at risk. First up, cognitive flexibility, your child's ability to switch between different thinking modes. This is what allows them to see a cardboard box as a spaceship, then a house, then a robot costume. When children always ask AI, what should I make, instead of experimenting, this flexibility is weakened. Two, associative thinking, connecting seemingly unrelated ideas. This is how kids come up with wild, wonderful ideas, like what if cars could swim? When AI provides ready made connections, children stop making their own unique associations. Three, divergent thinking, generating multiple solutions to an open ended problem. AI excels at convergent thinking, identifying the best answer. But human creativity thrives on divergent thinking, exploring all possible answers. And four, constraint breaking, the ability to identify and overcome hidden assumptions, limiting their thinking. This is what lets children question rules like stories have to make sense or art has to look realistic. When AI always provides solutions within conventional parameters, children stop challenging the boundaries of what's possible. Now, when these systems weaken, children develop what is called creative bypass. They learn to jump straight to AI whenever they encounter any kind of creative friction or challenge or roadblock. Their brains literally rewire to avoid the hard work of original thinking. But there's another crucial element that supports all four of these systems, and that is frustration tolerance. This is your child's ability to persist through difficult problems without immediate relief. This is where the real creative magic happens. Those moments when your child sits with a problem, feels stuck, pushes through the discomfort, and discovers something unexpected. AI eliminates this essential struggle, by providing instant solutions. Think about the last time you watched your child work through a challenging puzzle or try to build something that just kept falling down. That frustration they felt, that's their brain building resilience and creative persistence. When children can immediately turn to AI for answers, they miss these crucial mental workouts. But here's the encouraging news: because children's brains are so adaptable, they can also recover faster than adults. The creative pathways that have weakened can be rebuilt. The confidence they've lost can be restored. Now, before we talk about solutions, you need to know where your child stands right now. So, we're going to talk through creative independence assessment. I've developed a simple test that you can use and do at home to evaluate your child's creative resilience. Now, you can download the complete assessment tool from our website over on the Substack or over in the show notes at Killer Innovations or down in the description below. But let me walk you through some of the key elements right now. The important setup instruction. Just set aside 15 uninterrupted minutes for this assessment. Choose a time when your child's relaxed, not rushed, not hungry, not just coming home from school. Find a quiet space. Maybe the kitchen table works perfectly. Have other siblings go play elsewhere during the test. Don't call it a test. Now, if your child resists or asks why, simply say, hey, I'm curious about something, and keep it light. The assessment is based on one fundamental principle: creative confidence shows up in how your children respond to open ended challenges with no right answer. For ages 5 to 8, try what I call the magic box challenge. Give your child an empty cardboard box, a shoebox, perfectly. Tell them this is a magic box that can become anything you want. Tell me what you would like it to be. And then step back and observe. Don't give suggestions. Do not offer help. Don't provide materials unless specifically asked. Just watch how they respond. For kids aged 9 to 12, try the problem inventor challenge. Ask your child to invent a problem that needs solving and then to solve it. Give them 10 minutes, no devices, no external input. Just say, hey, pretend you're an inventor. What problems would you want to solve? And how would you solve it? Now, for teenagers 13 to 17, use what I call the original idea test. Ask them to come up with an original, creative project idea in a medium: art, writing, music, video, anything. They need to explain why this idea interests them personally. Give them about 10 minutes and say, if you could create anything right now, no limits on time or resources, what would you make and why? And then sit back and hear what they have to say. As you watch your child during this assessment, there's a scoring guide in the document to identify which traits they exhibit. Now, this scoring chart, you can circle or check off behaviors as you notice it, and then see which of the zones, green, yellow, red, that your child falls into. Now, I'm going to just read through a couple of the categories just to give you a feel. So, for instance, in the ages of 5 to 8, the magic box challenge. In the green zone, your child would be one that would engages immediately. One within 2 minutes, they really start getting into pretty quickly. In the yellow zone, maybe it takes longer, 3 to 5. They're frustrated, they're trying to ask you questions. Why are we doing this? What is this? It's a 2 box. And in the case of the red zone, they never engage. They never get their creative muscle really clicked in. As an now, in the case of ages 9 to 12, the green zone might be they can identify and create a problem pretty quickly within 3 or 4 minutes. They can think through it, they can describe it, they can explain why they're interested in it. Yellow zone, it might take 5 to 7 minutes. A red zone is they can't come up with a problem. Or they only suggest problems that they've seen in the media, whether it be news or on YouTube or whatever. They can't come up with an original problem. Versus a green in this case for the problem inventor challenge. They show personal connection to the problem, why it's personal to them, why they're frustrated by this problem, and why they want to solve it. In the case of the original idea test for kids age 13 to 17, is they generate ideas within 5 minutes. The yellow zone, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to generate an idea. Red zone can't generate an original idea. And so the assessment for each of the red, yellow, green, there are 5 characteristics. You just want to check them off. And you're just looking for which one you got the most specific test. Now, beyond these specific tests, there are also daily warning signs every parent should recognize. Watch for homework that suddenly takes much less time than usual. Notice if their writing voice changes dramatically. AI generated text often sounds more sophisticated than your child's natural voice, but lacks their personality. Pay attention to decreased tolerance for boredom. Listen for language changes. Are they asking, how do I? Instead of experimenting. This scoring guide will help you determine if your child's in that green zone, which creative confidence, that's intact. Yellow zone, there's some AI dependency developing. Or red zone, significant creative confidence impact. If you discover your child's in the yellow or red zone, take a deep breath. Remember, your child's brain is remarkably adaptable, and this can absolutely be improved. And I'm going to show you how. If your assessment revealed concerning signs, here's your start here section right now. If you do nothing else this week, try that assessment. Try it across all of your kids. If your child is in a yellow or red zone, then implement what I call the 24-hour creative pause that I'm about to describe. I want you to try this 24-hour creative independence check. This is really getting an opportunity to engage with your child to understand. This is gentle, but an effective way to help your child reconnect with their natural creative ability. Step one, that creative pause period. For 24 hours or 2 days or weekend, whatever length you feel comfortable with, your child takes a break from AI assistance, any creative task. No chat GPT for writing, no AI image generation for art projects, no looking up ideas or solutions online for creative work. Think of this like giving their creative muscles a chance to stretch and remember what they can do on their own. During this period, your child will likely experience some frustration. This is normal and actually beneficial. It's their brain remembering how to work through challenges independently. Step two is building a support system. Your job as a parent or as a grandparent is not to eliminate their frustration, but to support them through it. Instead of saying, oh, here, let me help you, try, wow, this seems challenging. What are you thinking? Instead of maybe look it up, try, well, what would happen if you just tried something? Try an experiment. Try, try that. The most important thing you can do is manage your own discomfort with their struggle. When you see your child working through a creative challenge, every parenting and grandparenting instinct tells you to step in and help. But supporting them through the creative problem solving builds the brain resiliency they need. And step three is celebrating effort over outcome. When your child creates something during this pause period, focus your praise on their thinking and persistence, not the results. So say, wow, I loved you kept trying different approaches, instead of saying, ooh, that's beautiful. After the 24-hour pause, establish ongoing creative strength training. Think of these as daily workouts for your child's creative brain. For younger kids, try a daily wonder question. 5 minutes of what if questions with no right answer. For example, what if gravity worked backwards on Tuesday? What would we have to do differently? For middle schoolers, use the daily assumption challenge. Question one obvious assumption each day. Like, why do schools have to happen inside of buildings? For teenagers, try the creative perspective shift. Describe any current event from three completely different viewpoints. For more detailed creative exercises tailored to different ages and situations, check out episode 3 in this series, Creative Thinking Exercises, 10-minute daily brain workout to boost innovation. And there's a whole bunch of exercises in there that you can adapt to your kids. Your role as a parent is crucial. You're not trying to become your child's creative manager. Instead, you're becoming what researchers call a creative support system. Model working through challenges yourself. Let your children see you tackling problems, taking new approaches, persisting when things don't work out. Don't run to AI yourself. Create a family culture that values thinking over knowing. Celebrate questions as much as answers. Now, the strategies I shared will help immediately, but developing strong creative independence requires a systematic approach. I recommend a two-phase development. Phase one, weeks 1 through 2, is assess and adjust. Begin with that creative independence assessment while gently reducing AI dependence. This is when you implement that 24-hour pause and then begin daily creative exercise. Phase two, which is weeks 3 through 6, is developing and strengthening. Increase daily creative exercises and build persistence within the challenge task. This is when you'll start seeing real improvements in your child's creative confidence and independence. Now, there is also a phase three, which is learning strategic AI use that enhances rather than replaces creativity. However, this assumes that you have mastered the strategic use of AI yourself. If you want to learn these skills, watch our episode on the AI creativity multiplier, 5 steps to amplify your innovative thinking. I'll have links for all of this in the show notes and links down below. Now, let me be realistic about the expectation. During the first week or two, you'll likely see some resistance. Your child might complain that creative tasks feel more challenging without AI assistance. This is normal, and trust me, it is temporary. You're asking them to use creative abilities that have been getting less exercise. Signs of improvement include increased creative attempts, less anxiety about not knowing the right answer, and a willingness to experiment with ideas. You should see positive changes within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent practice. For most families, this systematic approach will not only restore your child's natural creative abilities, it will make them stronger creative thinkers than they were before. Now, the next step, you are at a choice point right now. You can assume that this will work itself out as children figure out the right balance with AI. Or you can take action today to protect and strengthen your child's creative brain. Now, here's the reality: this challenge will only grow as AI tools become more sophisticated and appealing to children. The longer you wait, the deeper these patterns become. But the encouraging news is that you have everything you need to start making a difference today. Now, the specific next steps: download the complete family creative assessment from the show notes at killerinnovations.com over on my Substack. Links will be down below here if you're watching this on YouTube. Next, this includes detailed instructions for the challenge, plus additional age appropriate creative challenges, a parent observation checklist, progress tracking sheets, and complete 24-hour creative pause protocol. Try one of the assessment challenges with your child this week. Start with whichever one matches their age. Then post a comment down below or over on the show notes and share one specific thing you discovered about your child's creative independence. Now, based on the comments, the number of comments, the kinds of comments you get, I'll know whether to create more detailed, more age specific videos and guides for families who want to build their child's creative muscle. Remember, the children who develop creative resilience today, they will be the innovators, problem solvers, and the leaders of tomorrow. They will be the humans who can work with AI without losing what makes them uniquely and authentically human. And they will be the ones that will have careers that are not at risk of being replaced by AI. Your child's creative brain is waiting for your guidance. Question is, are you ready to take the first step? Until next time, I'm Phil McKinney. Remember, in an age of artificial intelligence, your child's creative thinking has never become more important. Now, before you go, if this episode opened your eyes to something important about creativity in the AI age, I need your help. Creating the kind of content where we do this kind of deep research and put together support materials about innovation and creativity takes weeks and months of work and investigations, talking to experts, testing strategies with real people who happen to be my grandkids. Unlike quick hit content channels, we dive deep into the science behind human creativity and innovation because these skills will determine all of our future in an AI dominated world. Now, here's how you can help. As we keep creating content that actually matters, hit that subscribe button below and ring that notification bell. Give us a like. YouTube's algorithm only shows our videos to people when we have active engagement. Share this episode with somebody who you think needs to see it. And if you're able, consider becoming a patron over on Patreon or a paid subscriber over on Substack. You will get exclusive content, invitations to live streams from my innovation studio, and early access to our content. Your support doesn't just help the channel, it helps us reach more people before AI dependency becomes the norm. Everyone deserves to understand how to protect and strengthen theirs and their children's creative thinking. Thanks for being part of the community that puts human creativity first. We'll talk to you next week. Bye bye.